I mean, what a great 6.5 years for me as far as, all the talent that I've had and the coaches that I've had to be at 150 right now. I thank God for the opportunity. Growth is amazing. I've grown so much in the game and just happy to be here, being able to help the school and the city, just try to advance.
Hey, we talked about it before the season, but to now be this deep into the season and to keep this foundation, right, and to win your 8th straight, I think it is today, is it interesting? Does it mean anything you just see people kind of, I don't want to say get back on the bandwagon, but the city kind of, does that make sense, rally around this team again like it was in previous seasons?
Well, I mean, the tradition of Tiger basketball has always won, and I wanted to get it back there. Obviously, when I took over the job, it was kind of down, and, I haven't done everything the right way, but one thing, my heart has always been into this. And bandwagon, good fans, bad fans, or whatever that all comes along with it, I appreciate all of them because they motivate me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I just want to continue to win so that we can succeed as a university and as a city. And, it's a great feeling right now. We just have to keep it going.
How good did it feel to have Tyrese back?
It felt good to have Tyrese because you have your soldiers out there. You're not one man down. And that gives us some flexibility on subbing because you have the extra body. When he's down, you lose that extra body. And I'm not, we did well without him against Temple, but you love to have him out there.
Did he have a close call? At some point he asked to come out. He was only out for a minute.
He tweaked his ankle. I thought it was his knee. I'm glad it wasn't his knee, but he tweaked his ankle and came over to the sideline and got the trainer to look at him and then went back out there, obviously.
How motivated was he these past 2 days, going from not playing Sunday to, he said he kind of increased treatment and did everything he could to be out there today?
Yeah, I think that was his first game that he's missed in his college career. That's got to be amazing, right? That's a streak that I don't know how many, players have that. And for him to miss that game, there was something obviously wrong. So for him to get back out there, I was happy for him because he needs the rhythm. He wants to be in rhythm, and we want him out there on the floor.
Is that a tough balance between you saying, hey, we need this guy completely good for March, let's sit him one more game, let's rest him a little bit more?
Well, to me, it's on him because we're not going to force him to do anything, right? We got to make sure that he's healthy. Of course, we want him March, April, but if he wants to play, we're going to let him play.
Coach, last year the USF game in Memphis kind of took the air out of your balloon the rest of the season. How important was it to come back here and beat USF?
Well, it was important for me. I watched that game. I hadn't watched it until right before we played them and saw exactly how it happened. And they did a fantastic job, and we didn't. And like you said, it took the air out of us and put some confidence in them, and they went on to win the conference. And it was important for us to come down here, for me personally, to win this game today.
Coach, excellent depth in the post and then on the perimeter, such great shooters and playmakers. As you proliferate a game plan, how are you able to fit all of that together and they have such good connectivity?
Well, I have to, give my coaching staff and the players credit because the coaches do a great job of watching film, making sure the guys are good. We do team events where we'll go out to eat. We try to stay close. Everyone is extremely close. And then the players are doing exactly what we're asking them to do, right? So the biggest word has been sacrifice for everybody, to sacrifice their time, to sacrifice some shots just to marry all of that together. And the inside, Dane and Musa are playing really well together. And then the guards are just exceptional. They just play off of one another. And that makes it much easier for us to be able to play.
Ben, you've talked for weeks about kind of closing games strongly. It seemed like tonight y'all did that for the first time in a couple games. What were your thoughts on the way y'all finished the last 10 minutes, whatever it was?
Yeah, I was super proud, because any team with pride, which South Florida has, they're going to make a run at home. And they made a little run, but we sustained and finished the game the way that we should have.
51 rebounds, pretty impressive. Outscored them by a lot, second chance points, outscored them by a lot, points off turnovers. There was quite a few lopsided statistical columns. Is there any one area or other area of tonight's game that impressed you the most?
Yeah, I'll say the 30 free throws because we wanted to be the aggressor, right? We got the rebounds and then we got to the free throw line. On the road, you got a rebound and you really got to make your free throws or get to the free throw line, and we did both of those, and definitely was proud of those two stats.
Coach, last 12 minutes of the first half, you're down 2, and then until the end, South Florida's 2 of 16 from the floor, 4 turnovers. Was there a defensive adjustment in there, or was it like just picked up?
Well, we get better as the half goes on. So we started figuring out what they wanted to do and who was who. And credit to the guys, they locked in and started putting them in situations where they had to take tough shots. and we boxed out. And you got to give the credit to the defense. We did a phenomenal job in that area, and we came on the other end and scored after getting stops, and that's what we want to do.
A couple weeks ago, you said you're not paying attention to the bracketology, but on Saturday they're going to release the top. The selection committee is going to reveal their top, like current 16 seeds. Are you going to watch the show? It's on CBS.
I'm not going to watch the show. I'm just going to kind of take the advice of our AD, Ed Scott, just keep stacking wins. That's what you want to do. If you keep stacking wins, we'll be where we want to be, and that's what we talk about all the time, he and I, and that's what we talk to the team about. We talk about just keep winning. You keep winning, you'll be in the right position.
If you had a chance to sell a committee member on you guys being a top 4 seed, what would you say?
I would say our non-conference supports that. Our non-conference schedule supports the teams that we've beaten thus far. Don't use our conference to judge us from the non-conference.
Tyrese was just here, obviously a guy who's been on deep March Madness runs, and he said this team and what it's doing right now, even kind of off the court, reminds him of his Texas squad that made the Elite Eight. To have a guy like that who's been in locker rooms that have great culture, what does that kind of tell you about what you and the staff have built this season?
Yeah, well, that's one reason why we went after him, because we knew he had the experience of being in the tournament and making deep runs at Iowa State and at Texas, right? So he's the leader of the bunch because he's vocal and he's a show me guy. He's going to get out there and show you how it's done. And having him really helps PJ and Kobe. It helps Dante. It helps the guys that haven't even gone to, the second round of the tournament, including myself, hadn't gone to the second round of the tournament. But having someone like that on the roster, he and Dane both, that have won and made deep runs, it definitely helps.
Got time for 2 more.
Nick Jourdain was more of a facilitator, it felt like tonight, and he got a lot of play out of him.
Yeah, Nick, I'm proud of him because he could have easily taken 5 or 6 threes and played out of his game. But what he did was he let the game come to him and just stayed patient and was a playmaker. For him to have 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block, it's major for us. Those are the things that we need him to do. And he kept a lot of balls alive, tipped some balls out that he didn't get credit for. So, he played a fantastic game, what we need from him every night.
You going to do anything different with Colby before Sunday's game than you did before the first Wichita State game?
I didn't say anything to him. There's going to be a couple things that I'm going to, say to him. And I think he'll be okay. He'll learn from the mistakes that he had in the first game. And they were definitely adamant about not letting him get any open looks. And he knows that that's going to happen, so we'll have to make some adjustments.